So by now I'm sure everybody has seen some form of, oh look, Minecraft Steve can carry 37 shulker boxes full of netherite blocks which contain the equivalent of over 255,000 blocks of gold. Or wow, Steve can sprint jump at 7 meters per second which is over 15 miles per hour or 25 kilometers per hour. But I can also do a handstand and have around 6 times 10 to the 24 kilograms in my hands. But we don't normally consider this me carrying the Earth because we consider things in the context of Earth's gravity, so we should do the same for Steve. So we need to start by figuring out Minecraft's gravity. Dr. Wesselcouch already has a video on this topic, but we can do this by falling from really high. At some point we'd reach terminal velocity, and if we were to plot out velocity with respect to time, it might look something like this. Now velocity times time is distance, so the area of this graph, which is velocity times time, is also distance. If we fall for sufficiently long, we can chop off the weird looking bit at the beginning of the graph and still have roughly the same area within some rounding error. Meaning if we divide the distance we fall by time, we'd have terminal velocity, which we can use in conjunction with some physics to find gravity. And it turns out that gravity on Minecraft is around 3 times stronger than it is on Earth. So Steve could carry 3 Steves worth of netherite blocks on Earth and presumably run 3 times faster. But this all relies on the assumption that everything in Minecraft has the same density as everything on Earth. For instance, I can drop this shulker box full of netherite blocks into this pool of water and guess what? It floats. In item form, the shulker box takes up around 1/50th to 1/100th of the volume of a block of water, meaning an inventory of them weighs roughly less than half of a block of water, or around 500 kilograms, which is much less impressive than 255,000 blocks of gold. So we need some other metric to determine Steve's strength. Luckily, there's an extremely simple solution. Pistons. A piston can push a block 1 meter. Nothing new so far, but notice that if we plot the block's velocity with respect to distance traveled, it might look something like this. The block goes from some velocity to no velocity in 0 distance, which implies the deceleration must be infinitely large to compensate. Meaning air friction in Minecraft is infinitely strong and Steve can casually sprint through with his infinitely strong body. And we can go one step further. The piston pushes the block through this infinite force, meaning the piston must also be infinitely strong. And pushing Steve with this piston does no harm to him, meaning he must have infinite durability. Of course he still takes fall damage, meaning he must be infinitely massive, and he has an infinite attack potency because he can physically harm mobs that pistons also do nothing to. Meaning Minecraft Steve can no-diff speed blitz Goku. If you couldn't tell, that last bit is a joke. While I do enjoy power scaling, comparing characters across different universes makes very little sense because they operate on their own broken set of bad physics approximations, so you can't really make definitive conclusions.